If you've ever dreamed of experiencing the freedom and sense of accomplishment that comes from going on a bike tour but are overwhelmed with where to get started, then this video is for you. And I'm here to tell you that you're probably a lot closer than you think to your first trip. I'm going to break it down into the big buckets of things to think about and plan for. And while in some ways this almost feels like a packing list, I see it more as an iterative process where each bucket relates to and is influenced by the next. Not only is a bicycle what fundamentally defines bike touring, but it is also probably one of the most overwhelming decisions to make. A high-end, touring-specific bike can easily cost more than $5,000, and it feels like everyone has strong opinions about what is best. I, however, believe that the bicycle you already have is probably good enough to get started. But if you're still doubting it or don't have a bike yet, I would prioritize a bike that has at least 10 gears to make climbing hills easier, eyelets for a rear rack, although there are rack options that don't require these, and rim or disc brakes. Naturally, we need somewhere to sleep on an overnight bike tour. To me, the best options are to stay with family or a friend, stay in a hostel or a hotel, or to camp. The first couple of options really reduce the amount of gear to carry while still providing plenty of fun, but camping often feels more adventurous. I generally prefer developed campgrounds because it is nice to have restroom facilities and they often have potable water. If you choose to camp, I recommend at a minimum bringing a tent, sleeping pad, and sleeping bag, all rated for the temperatures and weather you'll experience. Eating is as fundamental to a bike tour as gas is to a road trip in a car. But unlike filling up a gas tank, it can also be one of the most fun parts. Food never tastes as good as it does after a long day in the saddle and after making do with protein bars and candy between meals. It's always my goal to snack on about 100 calories an hour, plus larger meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The easiest way to get the big meals in is eating at restaurants along the way, followed by no-cook meals, something like more protein bars or anything that tastes good on a tortilla. If I'm camping though, I almost always find it worth it to pack a small stove and cooking pot to have hot meals and coffee in the morning. One thing I still always seem to underestimate is how important it is to plan for water. I've become so accustomed to always having access to running water in day-to-day life that it can be a little difficult to even realize how much I need. Everyone is a little different, but I would consider 1 liter, about 32 ounces, per every 1 to 2 hours of cycling as a minimum in moderate climates, plus more for meals, cooking, and relaxing. This can easily mean 16 liters, about 4 gallons per person per day, especially at elevation, in hot weather, or if riding mostly uphill. In urban or inhabited areas, this can often just mean filling up at parks or other public spaces, buying water at stores, or if needed, asking strangers for help. In more rural areas, it could mean purifying water with a filter or other method, or if like me, you generally tour in arid climates, carrying enough water for extended periods of time. It isn't uncommon for me to carry up to 10 liters at a time, even on an overnighter. A few other things I always bring include personal hygiene supplies like hand sanitizer, soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, etc. A first aid kit, think band-aids, antibacterial cream, upset stomach medicine, lights, both for seeing around camp and also for riding at night if necessary, tools for bicycle repairs, think flat tire repair kit, a multi-tool, phone or other GPS device for mapping, and a way to keep it charged, and something to do at night, a book, journal, etc. And there are almost certainly other things that you might need or want to carry as well. The next thing to consider is how to carry everything you'll need. The simplest choice is to put everything into a backpack to wear while you ride. Depending on how much you need for your trip, this can get rather uncomfortable fast though, and you'll be looking for ways to move weight off of your back and onto the bike. I find a rack and panniers to be one of the best ways to pack as the bags are generally larger and provide a lot of space for everything. Route planning is where this all becomes an iterative process because the route you plan has a huge impact on all of your gear decisions. I think a perfect first tour could be to ride to a friend or family member's house that is about 25 to 50 miles away and spend the night there. This might only require a credit card for meals, some snacks, a change of clothes, a toothbrush, and a flat repair kit. This could also apply similarly to a weekend getaway to a nearby city where you stay in a hotel. And if you're feeling up to the challenge, you might also consider one of adventure cycling's short routes, or even a segment of one of the epic routes across the country. These are amazing resources that include even more information about what to expect and where to stay. I'm headed out for an overnighter on a portion of adventure cycling's southern tier route this weekend. And in applying the above methodology, I will use my gravel bike and MIPS helmet, bring my tent, sleeping pad, and sleeping bag, bring a stove to cook pasta for dinner and oatmeal for breakfast. I'll be without water for about 30 miles and overnight, and will thus make sure to be able to carry at least 5 liters of water. I also never go on tour without a toiletry kit, lights, my repair kit, a book, and my journal. Wherever you're starting and however you plan your route, I hope you enjoy your tour as much as I know I will enjoy this one. And if you enjoyed this video and want more content like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. And for a plethora of information on routes and planning, visit adventurecycling.org.